All right. Microphone check one, two. I believe I am online. And what am I going to start off with today? Let's keep it in the music thing. Here we go, folks.
Vincent Collins spent several years in prison for his role in this drug trafficking operation. He was released from prison 2 years ago, but 4 months later went on the run. Now the U.S. Marshal Service needs your help tracking him down. June 2015, Prince George's County, Maryland. Vincent Collins is indicted by a grand jury for his role in a federal drug trafficking operation.
We're talking about large amounts of heroin.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Maryland breaking down the case. According to the plea agreement, over a 4-month period, Collins would receive large amounts of heroin from its operation leader for redistribution. And during that time, the organization would use the music studio Crooked House Entertainment here in District Heights, Maryland.
Crooked House Entertainment. That fits perfectly.
Carry out operations.
The criminal conspiracy and participants allegedly used the music studio as a stash house.
Al Maresca is a deputy marshal with the U.S. Marshal Service. He says drug trafficking organizations will often use storefronts to conceal drug LLCs.
Anytime you have any type of drug trafficking conspiracy, there's going to be a need to cover the high level of traffic that's going to come in and out.
There he is, folks. So I was in the YouTube streets and everything, and I was trying to get out of, Blackistan for a little while, but no, it's still there. It's still there. Look, if I don't understand people these days. For some reason, it seems like there's a lot of people, like this gentleman on the screen, that people would support. And I got a little bit of a surprise for you later on. Let me keep this going. Here we go.
And oftentimes criminals resort to using legitimate businesses to further their criminal enterprise.
This organization, investigators say, responsible for pushing large amounts of heroin into communities across Maryland.
Heroin is an extremely dangerous drug. Anybody who's under the influence of that narcotic can experience head nods. They can unfortunately go into a point where the system slows down so much that they overdose and pass away.
The following year, Collins entered into a plea agreement and pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute and possess with intent to distribute controlled substances and possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime.
Based upon his plea agreement, Collins was sentenced to serve 160 months in prison.
13 years in prison, but Collins serving about half of that sentence. So Collins was sentenced to 160 months, but he didn't serve that entire sentence.
No, in this case, he actually won his appeal.
Years after his conviction, investigators say Collins appealed his sentence. Collins argued the scale a judge used to determine the length of his sentence was inaccurate. Judges rely on sentencing guidelines, as shown in this table, weighing the seriousness of the offense with the offender's criminal history category.
Yeah, basically he did the crime, but he shouldn't have been. I guess they cut down the time, I guess. And you would think that he would be grateful for the new a new start. But what does he do? He disappears, probably go back to the old thing. Here we go.
To determine a range of months for sentencing. Investigators say Collins argued his criminal history wasn't calculated correctly. Collins won his appeal, and in October 2022,
he won his appeal, and as a result, he was released early.
But just 4 months later, investigators say Collins violated the terms of his supervised release. So he's released in October 2022. He's on supervised probation, but at some point he violates that.
So he's wanted for a violation of supervised release. In this instance, he was released from federal prison, and while he was supposed to report in with the probation officer, he failed to do so on multiple occasions.
That was in February 2023, nearly 2 years ago. Fast forward to now, Collins is 45 years old and on the run.
I mean, what a way to dwindle away an opportunity to start over. All you had to do is be cool. And he couldn't even do that. And what's funny to me is this. Instead of the manosphere helping to straighten these men out, they do literally the opposite and start complaining about women. This guy's problem isn't women. Problem is that he needs to be reprogrammed to be a decent citizen. I'm not saying he can be red pill, but he's definitely he got some other issues too. If he wants to be red pill, let him be red pill. He's not helping anything. But no, red pill doesn't even want to help men. Red pill is a big, 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 big farce. And let's go in. So this guy was using a music studio to literally sell shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy did it or Jay-Z did it and others because it's legitimate enough, but then it's not. Okay, let me play the intro to this live stream. Here we go.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black, she is everything. So black, she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says, ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
That was Asia Bryant Wilkerson.
Now, I
And
really
this
know
is your trigger. She's going to break it down to you. The question is this: does drill music, I mean, the thing is this: you have to honestly ask yourself, what has hip hop done for Black culture? Really, I mean, think about it in the logistic form, not in the music, the artistic form. And wow, look at all these, rags to riches story of all these, guys who were rapping in their mother's basement and everything, and they came up. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is really what I mean. what really has rap done for our culture? What has it done? How has it lifted us up? That's the question we are going to go through tonight, amongst a lot of other things.
Y'all are gonna be mad at me for real this time. But if I talked about the horrible influence and image that Sexy Red and Sukihana contribute to concerning Black women, then it's only right that I talk about the damage, destruction, and unalivings that Black male rap has caused the Black community as a whole. At what point did the Black community begin to think that glorifying this type of stuff was okay? This stuff was the business. I mean, honestly, this man, T Grizzly, has over 2 million subscribers. And what's crazy about this is that I can name countless mainstream rappers that were doing the same thing that he's doing currently, but you know what? They aren't here anymore. They are rappers that have been unalived, that have also talked about unaliving others, and that many of the young Black men in our community look up to and seek to imitate. Now they're not here because of this same violence that they promoted. And that's a problem. And y'all don't believe me?
Mic check. There we go.
Let's just get into it. Let's just say a few, shall we?
Mic check 1, 2. Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Let me know. Phoenix Soul, thank you for letting me know about my microphone. I think I got it. I think I got it going on. Susie Bear, Phoenix Soul in the house. Everybody up in the clouds. Yeah. King Von. I mean, to me, it's like this. You can't really separate gangs from rap music unless it's obviously the kind of rap music that's not made anymore, which is the consciousness rap, that kind of thing. I would say that there's more gangster rap and negative rap or exploitive rap than there is any other type of rap. In fact, it's like 80-20, and I'm being generous with the 20. So 20% decent, cool rap that you can get along with a little bit. It's not, inciting violence or anything like that. And then 80% is just like basically drill rap, which I guess is different from gangster rap, but maybe it's just modified gangster rap. Maybe that's what it is. And then there's drill. So there's gangster rap, if we want to be picky, drill rap. Then there's, I call it booty rap, like, 2 Live Crew kind of stuff that they're just exploiting women all the time. And that would be, I hate to say it, it has to do with Snoop and Crew, Death Row stuff. That's all that kind of stuff. So basically that's the argument is how is this helping us any?
King Von, gone, rapped about unaliving others. You can see what he was talking about in this screen grab of one of his songs. Mo 3, gone, rapped
Let me go
about
back because she shows here's a screen grab, right? She can't. The reason
King
why
Von.
your trigger did not, literally say the words is because
Gone, rapped about unaliving others. You can see what he was talking about in this screen grab.
Here's the screen grab. Look. And y'all wonder why he's gone. Y'all wonder why he's gone.
Of one of his songs. Mo 3, gone, rapped about unaliving others. And the same thing in his songs. You see it on the
Yep, look at the screen. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Check the score, the cemetery fool. I done put a lot of them in the I mean, I can't wrap it out because I'm trying to keep this at least somewhat, YouTube friendly. So let's keep it going. Here we go.
On the screen. Pop Smoke, gone, rapped about unaliving others, as you can see on the screen.
Yep,
Young Dog,
see, wait, let me go back. Yeah, I mean, you guys always say that the reason why I'm making sure I show this is because everyone always says, no, that's not what hip hop's about. But these are the most these are some of the top art or were some of the top artists.
As you can see on the screen.
Yeah. They were some of the top artists. So what about that? What's up with that? Let me flip this around. Here I got to go in here. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Okay. So yeah. You see that? Oh man, you into that old school stuff. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to listen to these aren't the kind of lyrics I want to hear. I want to hear, love lyrics and love songs and stuff like that, or at least funny songs or something. This is like murk music.
Young Dolph rapped about unaliving others, as you can see on the screen.
As you could see on the screen. As you could see on the screen.
Even Nipsey Hussle rapped about unaliving others, as you can see on the screen. We can even go throwback. Let's talk about Tupac. See the lyrics? Let's talk about Biggie. See the lyrics? This is what I'm talking about. And I want y'all to really think critically here. Why do you think that this is happening? Why do you think that these black men, these high profile black men, are being unalived?
Right. High profile, high value men.
And most often by other black men. Well, it has a lot to do with the culture that this black male rap promotes. And before y'all talk about J. Cole or Kendrick or Wale or brothers on that type of time, I'm not talking about.
I would say I would put them into a different category, maybe put them into neo soul or something. And that I don't know, maybe they're in a different, but it's so hard. I mean, they are rapping, but maybe they should put it neo soul dash rap, something like that, just so that at least they're separated and that people know when they go shop for music what they're shopping for.
Them. I'm talking about the mainstream rap music, aka murder music, robbery rap, drill music, whatever you want to call it. These particular men, these rappers that I just mentioned, were victims of the culture that they made money off of and participated in. And they didn't care about the possible effects that it would have on their communities. And it's the same culture that has black men afraid when they're going out. They keep their head on a swivel, looking over their shoulder, making sure that they aren't the next victim of someone that looks just like them. And we really have to wonder, why is it cool to talk about unaliving your brother? Why is it cool to act like women are disposable and have nothing to offer?
Let me pause for a minute. I just thought about it. And the the rap artists that are women, they do beef. We know they have a beef here and there. But there's two things that really separate things. Number one, they don't beef nearly as much as the men do. And they don't beef nearly as hard as the men do. You rarely hear one crew of women deleting another crew of women. You just don't hear it. It seems to be exclusive to men. And that's the funny part, is how can you as men complain about what women are doing when what we are doing is so much worse? I don't get it. It's like somebody's, I don't get it. How does that work? Do you guys feel like they're the reason why you guys are making all these gangster raps? So is it because of women? I don't think so. I mean, so and how can you say you offer protection when you and your friends can't even protect each other from each other? So let's get rid of the protection thing. Let's just get that out of the way, because that's not working. That protection, what should we call it? That protection scam it's left the building. I mean, don't get mad at black women for acknowledging that, something, that protection scam doesn't seem to be working too well, because we're not protected. And then you can make up excuses, black women don't deserve being protected. That you could say that all you want, fellas, but all you're doing is lowering the value of our male race, because no other races say that kind of shit. They actually protect women they don't know or will not have or have access to. Unfortunately, from what men have told me, you have to have, there needs to be some kind of skin in the game for you to be a good Samaritan. That's just crazy to me. Middle Heart in the house. Phoenix Soul says they have severe aversion to accountability bars. And we are, Phoenix, we are going to take a deep dive into that tonight and tomorrow. And tomorrow, we're going to get into, it's going to be a big live. Just check it out. Usually I don't do things on Sunday, but I think I'm going to do it on Sunday. If not, it'll be Monday night. Anyway, and then Metal Heart, it's good seeing you. Nipsey Hussle said in an interview that when they would go out to Papa Ninja, they would literally look for black men that looked and dressed like them. Wow. Yeah. That is crazy.
Other than being in their bed and getting tossed aside? Why is it cool to talk about robbing and stealing from someone? And these are things that are strictly pushed in the black community with so many excuses made. Oh, well, this is just the life that I live. Art imitates life, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I don't want to hear that. You can always promote positivity. And when you try to tell a lot of these young men about this, they just say, hey, it doesn't have any effect on me. But how can you say that when the very men that make this type of music can't even make it to 30?
Right. I mean, obviously, it's clear that there's no other dangerous genre than rap. Name what it's not rock, it's not soul, it's not classical music, it's not jazz, it's not EDM. I mean, in EDM, they might, they might, depending where they are, they might, pass away from heat exhaustion or something, especially when it's in the summer, when they have those big raves and everything. Let me shut up. Anyway, but yeah, so tell me a genre. I'm arguing with the men from wherever you are in behalf of the ladies. Name a genre of music that is more dangerous than rap.
And if they can't make it to 30 with their money, their fame, their status, then what do you think that these knuckleheads growing up in the trenches can expect? When you see things like this article, firearm deaths among black men are at a 28-year high, and doctors are saying that gun violence is one of America's major health crises, how can you not see the correlation? We have black men glorifying violence, drug use, abuse of the women in their community, and putting it to a beat, making it look sexy and making it look like that's the thing to want to do.
Right. That is just crazy to me, but they do. So, and then they get mad when they get, and then they get mad when they get put in jail. Like this instance right here.
And are you Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea bargain in each of these cause numbers. The defense waived the PSI, and Mr. Jones also waived the PSI. And we're going to proceed with the court reviewing the TAP evaluation. In each cause number, the court the client entered a plea of no contest, and the cause number ending in 03. The repeater offender allegation was waived. Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation state?
Yes, Your Honor.
We have, Your Honor, and
Okay.
I've gone over, I have, Your Honor, and I've gone over with my client.
Any objections?
No objection.
Oh, that's
Right. So everyone, if you all not talk behind the court reporter, and if everyone can please whisper. I know today is supposed to be a frightful day, but let's not make it frightful for the court reporter by talking loudly. All right, in each cause number, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is opposed to your application of community supervision. The cause numbers are to run concurrently, and they're taking 2 cases into consideration.
So my question is this: is why do you allow yourself to fall into a situation like this? I bet when he was doing what he was doing, I bet he was, he was probably bouncing that music. You don't have to live that way. Let me move forward. Let's go into Young Thug. Let's go into Young Thug. Here we go.
I'm Brian Steele, Brian Steel.
And I'm Keith Adams, Keithadams.
And talk us through the decision to do a plea
Back in the day, Ice Cube would call that a ghetto bird, a chopper.
All right, if y'all don't mind talking us through the decision to make a plea and just how today ended up going and transpiring.
Well, this was excruciating because hopefully, in our collective opinion, Jeffrey would have been found not guilty of everything. So this is very painful.
See, y'all thought he won. There was no way. Look, okay. They had way too much on this dude. As poorly as you might say the prosecution did, they had so much that the evidence itself did all the talking. Because really, quite honestly, I watched it, and I believe the prosecution could have performed better. I saw days that they were on point, and then some days that they weren't. But they should be. The difference is this guy right here he's like $1 million lawyer. He's not like working every day for the county or the state or the federal government, at who pays like $120, maybe $130 a year for their turner. This guy gets $120 or $130 a month. I didn't say month. I said month. MUMF, month. He's making that hard money from people just like Young Thug and everything. After he gets done with Young Thug, somebody else is going to line up where they came up. Whether they got their money from nefarious means or not doesn't matter. All money's green to him. Here we go.
But that's another 3 months or so in custody. And he wants to go home to his family. And negotiations totally broke down with the district attorney's office. Horribly broke down. And at that point, we believe that justice would be found with the honorable court. And Jeffrey just wanted to go home. How agonizing it is to know that we've spent a year trying a case where the prosecutors have put on lies, knowing lies, hiding evidence.
Knowing lies. I mean, what kind of lies really? I mean, sooner or later, what I've learned about court is sooner or later the lies are going to lie on themselves. So basically, the thing is this: he knows. It's like you could take half of what they were trying to charge him on, and he'd still go to prison for like 50 years if he was found guilty. Rena West in the house. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Insane in 2024 in the United States of America. And the only reason that this got revealed is because of you people. You people brought the truth to the community because nobody knows this. This is not the only courtroom it's happening in. And I just want to thank all of you. I especially want to thank Jeffrey for letting me represent him. I think he's a wonderful person who does wonderful things and will continue
Oh my
to do.
God. Come on. Okay, people, like, it's okay to understand. I understand the emotions of being a fan of rap and having, you know, people that you see as your idols or something like this. This dude, just like Diddy, just like Jay-Z, have done some very horrible things. Okay? At the very least, sold drugs. So let's get that out of the way.
Things even greater. I cannot express to you how Shaquille Kokomo, how Trisha Renard, how Haley, how my wife Colette, how Bram, how countless
Let me tell you, let me tell you something. He's a good lawyer. He is a good lawyer. He's full of shit right now, but he's a good lawyer. He's good enough that if truly Young Thug was innocent, they would have moved forward with the trial because it wasn't done yet. It wasn't done by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, why? You have this lawyer here that everybody loves. Everybody loves this dude. They were saying that he was wiping the floor with the prosecution and all. But the problem is his client wasn't innocent. Not of everything. He might have been innocent of maybe this little thing over here or that little thing over there. But for the most part, if he was innocent, they wouldn't have made the deal. Tell me why you would make a deal knowing that your client is innocent and that you can prove it. And you're one of the best lawyers in the United States. That's why you hire the best lawyer in the United States. Behind closed doors, let's face it, y'all. He looked at Young Thug and said, bro, this is about as good as it gets right here. This is the best I can do for you right now, Young Thug. This is the best I can do for you. Yeah, we wiping the floor with them, but the bottom line is you did what you did. 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 And there's nothing we can do to change that. We can wipe the floors with we can wipe the prosecution all over we can bounce balls off of them, everything. The one thing we cannot change is what you did and the evidence. Otherwise, it would be real easy for him if he really didn't do it. Okay? And remember now, they had enough to put him in for life. If he was guilty of pretty much most of it or a lot of it, they could have put him in for life. So this is a bargain for them. The last thing, you know what's funny? Why would you want a mistrial? Then that means they get to get a whole new legal team on the prosecution side. That's why he did it too. Because he felt like, look, they might get some hired guns up in here. I mean, dudes who have to come fly down from their office or something like that. I mean, hired guns that don't miss. So yeah, you can look at it as a victory lap, but it ain't that. And you're going to find out right now. This is why.
Oh man, so
let me pause it right there.
Young Thug is officially will be being released today. So he has to do 15 years staying on point. No issues for 15 years.
15 years not being who he really is. That's a long time. And remember the clip I was playing before when the guy got out on a technicality, but really he did great legal work to get himself out because the judge scored him wrong, so he got out. But then what did he do? He couldn't even stay out for a couple months before he started breaking the law again. Do you think Young Thug's gonna be able to do that? Here we go.
And that time that's on the back end will drop off if he stays on his P's and Q's for 15 years. Now here was the reaction from his girl to Mariah the Scientist.
That's crazy!
Yeah, be happy. Look at all this. Look, here's his father.
Away from him that isn't a resident from here. She's from another.
This dude, let me break it down. Young Thug was hanging out, at the very least, hanging out with the leaders. At the very least. Indiana mom in the house. At the very least, hanging out with leaders if he wasn't involved. Look, I am all for making sure an innocent black man is proven innocent and does not have to be in jail. I am all for that. But come on, folks.
Another state, and to see
That's not him. It's not Young Thug.
See her take a man away from where he's from to have to go live somewhere else. That's offensive to me. I'm really offended by it.
Can you talk about, sorry, I thought you were done. I was just saying, can you talk about your bond through music? And part of his conditions is that he can still make music, still do some performances.
I don't care about that. So Little Rod was innocent. I mean, not innocent, but he did a plea deal. Oh, and I forgot to tell you this. The fact that his friends or his fellow defendants were doing plea deals greatly hurt his situation because he doesn't know what kind of plea deal these guys made. And what I mean is that he could have been making a plea deal. They could have been making a plea deal to squeal. And I know this stupid thing about, oh yeah, you don't never snitch. Yeah, okay, that's fine. All other cultures of all other cultures snitch. And for that, they get safe neighborhoods. Let me repeat that one more time. All other cultures snitch for the most part, and they are rewarded with safer neighborhoods. So if you want to keep on that no snitching groove, feel free. Just don't complain about, our communities being messed up. And this is what Young Thug's kids, which are a reflection of the man, are doing.
What's poppin', y'all? You can imagine the look on my face, probably the look on your face as well, when you're on Instagram, on my Instagram, follow me at HellaYouSeen, and you see that Young Thug's own children are dropping songs and are dissing Gunna. So, I'll play you guys the clip right now. Hopefully this song isn't out. We don't get copyrighted for some 11-year-old's song. We will see. If anything, I'll just mute it.
The car get swinging that Drake. I got face and damn, I got chase. Suppress on that glass so I won't leave a trace. Keep this gang, get shot in your face. I smoke dead dogs all day to the face. I smoking on high, got shot in the face. And load you keep switching gangs, you a lame. And Billy on son, D out, he changed. And Billy.
Oh, how cute. They're rapping about deleting people, little kids. What a role model that man is. I mean, hats off. Hats off.
He he leaving state. And gonna get whacked, can't leave that LA. Nut get smoke right here to the face. The gang gon' never gon' change. Nut got smoke right here to the face. He got caught trying to get him a fade. These streets just shrivel, temp fade. We do not miss, we don't relate. Yo, what? Streets is not a glitch. They be tripping. It be do glitching. It be tripping. You try to run,
I think that is something that we don't want kids to do for what it means. This is his kids. What do you think they're going to grow up and be? Just like their dad. Going to court. I mean, Diddy's son, right? Diddy's sons were living the high life. I mean, they were living the high lives, even more than Young Thug's kids. What do they turn out to be? Just like the father, right? They turned out to be creeps, just like his dad. Oh, I know. Oh, wait, no, Diddy's not. Diddy's not. He's not guilty. This is what Umar had to say about that.
From now on, if you hate, I'ma snatch your queen. I'm telling you right now, I'ma snatch your queen. Yeah. And once she goes King Kong, she ain't never coming back. Hello. I'm snatching.
So it's funny to me that he's saying this. First of all, this is Umar, by the way, if you don't know. It's funny he's saying this because, I mean, he's supposed to be respectfully representing black men, and now he's talking about stealing black women. If they, don't talk kindly about him.
Haters, queens.
Wait a minute.
To all sisters, if your man, your baby daddy, your fiance, your husband, if he is a Dr. Umar hater, pull up on me.
So he's telling you already, Mr. Build a school for 10 years. He's already telling you that he's Pookie. Because that's what Pookie does. Pookie takes advantage of, situations. And that's what Dr. Umar is doing. I'm a hater. As soon as the more I learned about him, the more I just know I'm not cool with him. He's just he's really, to me, he's really red pill to me. I know a lot of red pill guys say he's not. He is. See, y'all, we'll get into that some other time. And in fact, we'll get into that tomorrow or the next day in my next live stream. But yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be representing black men in a respectable way. First of all, he cheats himself. And then to keep him from cheating a lot, he seemingly married 2 women, which is strange. But let's see what he's going to say. Here we go.
Slide into my inbox one time. I'm going to take all of her peach cobbler. Play with me. I'm taking all the honey out the honeycomb hideout. I'm taking every cookie she got.
Taking all that.
The sugar box will belong to Big Papa.
We tear our people down
Publicly
before
nobody else.
He
does
ain't
it.
even been to trial. And it's a documentary out talking
We ain't even
about
see no evidence.
surviving Diddy.
Yeah.
And it's,
Did you hear that? They are literally defending Diddy. I mean, what we saw him do to Cassie is enough to put him in jail for 10 years, easy. I don't care if she got paid. Listen to it. Listen to this. Listen to this.
We didn't see no evidence.
that really
What about the
bothers me.
documents that keep
They're
claiming?
saying we didn't see any evidence. This was done 6 days ago. They saw the baby oil. Okay. This is what bothers me is where is this mentality coming from? So they saw the baby oil. They saw the guns. They saw the other stuff. That's why I think Umar is a fraud. I really do. I mean, he's a fraud. Yep. Umar. Phoenix Soul says Umar, a.k.a. Pam Pookie and grifter of the generation. Yep.
They keep popping out.
On Diddy?
Yeah.
They got documents popping out?
They keep popping out with random ass documents that they keep popping out with.
About what?
What he's done to Cassie, what he's done to
what he done for Cassie
shit regarding the case.
Unacceptable. She got 30.
Let's put it. Look, notice how they are clearly trying to not detract. They are trying to take the attention off of what he did do and minimize it. They have tapes, bro. How much evidence do you need? They have like, I don't know how many tapes, but it's a lot of tapes. And all it takes is one. Why? Seeking knowledge in the house, D9 in the house, M. Mills in the house. Get seeing everybody. We're talking about Dr. Defend Bandit Umar. They know they have a lot of evidence. They had so much evidence they had to take it out in a truck. I mean, they had 1,000 bottles of baby oil that were laced. Who knows how much, rat girls in the house. I mean, really, come on. It's important for us to see the reality that somebody that we thought was a role model is far from that. You saw, okay, oh, well, look, why are you getting on the brother? One man don't go. Okay, last time I checked, they put the last white man who did something like this in prison, and the guy, he went up to the upper room on his own, they say. But he went up to the upper room. Okay. Diddy made amazing music. I mean, most of it he sampled, but now let's get past that part. He's the representative of, hip hop. He really is. He is a representative. Him, Jay-Z, right? And R. Kelly. R. Kelly is kind of like bouncing back and forth on hip hop, but he's still there, right? So they are really the representative of hip hop. And it's not working out really well right now. Let's put it that way. It's, the ambassadors to the rest of other cultures are not showing us good. And when we shame the people who are. Okay? You can shame Russell Wilson all you want, but at least he's not, storing 1,000 bottles of tainted baby oil. There's no stories of him hooking up with Meek Mill. There's no stories of him hooking up with Chris Brown. There's no stories of him hooking up with that guy who said moosh moosh magoosh. I forgot his name though. And that's okay. If he wants to live the gay life, by all means, he can live the gay life. The problem is when the down low culture is usually men that have a certain sexuality they are not comfortable with. So they go down low, which we will get into that on the next live stream. But tonight, let's see how we defend literal monsters. I'm gonna play the tape. Here we go.
$1 million for that.
And was quiet.
Never said a word about it. Was with him on the award show red carpet 2 days after that. Never reported him to the police. You understand? It ain't acceptable. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the victim ain't got nothing to say about it. She off with her snow puppy, spending Puffy's 30 mil.
Oh my! This is really disgusting to me, because she did say a lot about it. That's why he's in trouble now. She's not, but he paid her to shut up. That's what the money was for. He thought that was going to work. It didn't work. I bet if he had a chance to do it over again, he wouldn't do it. He thought it was going to work. He knew what he did. So he said, let me try to get her out of the way real quick. And then and he lied the very next day saying that he never did anything until that tape came out. Then he said he was sorry about the tape. And the same thing that happened and now he's saying, oh yeah, no, I didn't do that to these other 1,000 people. I didn't do that over the last 30 years. I didn't do that. Yes, why seek analysis, DJ? This is a huge problem. I wish they would just come out of the closet. Our health is at risk. And that's double bar right there. And I'll tell you why. It's like they're haunted souls. They're haunted souls. And we got a lot to go through. And tomorrow or the next day, whenever I do the next live stream, that's going to be the one on the down low culture and what it does. It's not cool. Here we go.
Straight. And my thing to black people, can we stop being hypocrites?
Yeah, right, exactly, bro. Why are you being a hypocrite? You first say, oh yeah, black men, we got to treat our women right and all this kind of stuff. And the next thing you want to do is you want to take somebody's women from them. And then you're coming back here and then trying to say that this man is a good man, where it's clearly, people knew he wasn't that cool. And you're trying to act like he's some kind of saint.
Black women have the highest domestic abuse rate in America.
Right. And Diddy was right on point with that. He's one of the domestic abuse kings.
If what happened to Cassie disturbed you so much, what are you doing about everyday domestic violence against black women in our community?
Exactly. That's why I'm doing this live stream, bro. You're not doing anything. You're trying to force black women to date those men, the DV kings. About 43% report. Let's face it. It's DV in our community is around 63%. It's high. It's really high. It's super high. Literally, it's like if a woman dates 2 men in succession and they're black men in succession, one of them's going to beat her up. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Those are bad odds right there. Those are odds not to take. Those are bad odds. Those are just bad odds. They're just not. I wouldn't bet on that. You're not going to go to Vegas with those kind of odds.
Right next door to you.
You want Puffy to burn for Cassie, but you don't want your brother to burn.
See, that's what really upsets me. Is he's trying to manipulate the situation. Now, I guess he's claiming that Cassie isn't really, black and whatever. I'm about to play that and see, I'll keep the suspense up. But what's the difference? He's done that to black women. In fact, he's done worse. There's a possibility he's done worse, I should say. There's a young lady who was in perfect health who strangely passed away. But he doesn't bring that up, does he?
For all the women he done slapped up. You don't want your father to burn for slapping up your mother. You don't want your grandfather to burn for slapping up your grandfather. We have an issue of selective morality.
Oh man, this is hypocritical at the utmost. He is going all in for Diddy. Okay, all in for Diddy. But when was the last time he did a live stream or a speech or a movement to help reduce femicide in the culture? Exactly. Exactly. That's why I call him a fraud. It's I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, here he has a chance to do something about it. He could say, we need to have blah, blah, blah on how to stop this onslaught on our own women, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't do that. He's still trying to just defend Diddy.
Black community, which is nothing more than 21st century hypocrisy. How can you want justice in this situation, but I don't want justice in these situations?
Yeah. What is he talking about? What the hell are you talking about, bro? Did you see? Bro, he taped the shit. Just because you didn't see it yourself, which you probably don't want to see because you can't unwatch the kind of crap that was going on with him. There is literal tapes of him and Meek Mill getting down, yet this hypocrite right here, he's anti, LGBTQ, but here he goes hoeing for Diddy.
All the black people say they're going to vote for Donald Trump when he was found liable in a court of law to have raped that woman. So if you are against rape of women, abuse of women, you want Diddy to burn, but you're going to vote Donald Trump into office.
I actually agree about that. I actually agree with that.
The contradiction. If Diddy should burn for slapping up a woman, shouldn't Donald Trump also burn for raping a woman?
No, it was more than one. It was more than one. And the problem that he has is that Diddy and Donald hung out. Diddy and Donald are pretty much the same person. Okay? But one's running for office and the other one isn't. They both have not been, they have a history. I mean, he's trying to just pin this all on Cassie, but they have a history of over years, over decades of abusing women. To me, though, the whole thing about Donald Trump and all that kind of stuff, if he wins, he wins. He loses, he loses. For me, if he wins, I win because I proved my point in 4 years. I'll tell you about that. And if he loses, I win. Either way, I win. And I'll tell you why, ladies and gentlemen, because he's going to prove to us in 4 years who he really is if he wins. Just like everybody was like, when this first Diddy thing came out, everybody was doubting, oh, no, that's not true about Diddy. It's not true about Diddy. And then after they saw the tape, let me think this out. And then they heard about the baby oil. And then 1,000 people came out to say they got the same black man. I mean, for real. I mean, they did. This might ruin Dr. Umar's career, really.
But no, we selectively moral. We're going to vote for Trump, but Diddy needs to burn. I don't listen to black people.
I say burn them both. Burn them both.
When it comes to moral conversation, because most of us are not ethical and principled enough to call a spade a spade. One of the reasons that Lady Justice is supposed to be blindfolded is because you're not only not supposed to be influenced by the race of a person, but you're not supposed to be influenced by the wealth of a person, the status of a person, or your
Who was the guy who passed away in jail because they said he deleted himself? Who was the guy's name? I can't believe I can't remember the guy's name. I know it wasn't Weinstein. He's the dude, the Me Too dude. But there was another one. What's Goldstein? I can't remember, but it was him. They put him in jail, bro. What more do you want?
Relationship to that person. So yes, domestic violence, I don't support it. Diddy was wrong, and I don't have a problem with him being held accountable for that. But his federal indictment has nothing to do with Cassie situation that happened 7 years ago.
No. It does. That was the form of behavior that he put on a lot of people. He was doing that to a lot of people, not just Cassie. Cassie got some of it. Epstein, that's it. Thank you. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. But yeah, Epstein he went to jail, bro. So what are you talking about? But anyway, let me get back to this. Cassie got it. And this young lady who was only 17 got it. They flew her, they drugged her, they flew her around to someplace. They wouldn't let her leave. Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people. You know something? Umar is going to look real bad soon. I'm telling you right now. He's ruining his career with this, and I'm going to help him because he never opened up that school. If he opened the school, I might have chilled out. But I'm sorry, but he's looking more and more like a grifter to me. Here we go.
7 years ago, 7 years ago, he's indicted for what? Interstate prostitution, interstate sex trafficking, and racketeering. I can't speak to the racketeering because I'm not a member of Bad Boy, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Interstate sex trafficking, I'm having a hard time believing a billionaire has to steal people away into sex.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Epstein was a millionaire, so he didn't have to steal anybody, but he did it. And what he doesn't understand, see, I could tell Dr. Umar did no homework or he's really trying to misrepresent the situation. Diddy was making hand over fist money, more than probably he was music, and that's probably why he dropped off, doing that sex-esque stuff. That was selling. I mean, he was making millions of dollars. I won't say billions. Millions of dollars at these things, at these freak-offs. Millions of dollars. He was spending millions and making tens of millions off of these things. I mean, you had people in there that were so rich, they could put down $1 million, $2 million for whatever kind of fantasy they wanted, and he'd make it happen. Imagine that there's 100 of those kind of people there at that mansion doing the same thing. It reminds me of that movie a lot. What was that movie? The movie, you know, where they drug somebody and then it was horrible. What was the name of it? They made 4 of them. And it was a movie where these, tourists would be kidnapped and then done very horrible things to. And they would make so much money doing it, it was worth the risk. Diddy didn't do as bad, I don't think, as that movie did. But he did some bad things. We're going to find out, and Mr. Kang, leader Kang here, he's going to find out too.
I believe a billionaire can pay people into sex. So no, I don't believe
that is it. Hostile 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you, Metal Heart. Hostile. Diddy did shit like that. Not nearly as bad, but he did. He didn't do it as nearly. It wasn't that bad. We hope. I pray it's not that bad. Rat Girl says, Indiana mom, they love making biracial women, but can't choose one with sense who actually asked them what she could do for them. I'm so glad that they showed her how stupid they are. Yeah, that's a funny thing. That's a funny thing. Here we go.
Sean Puffy Combs is guilty of sex trafficking. Do I believe he's guilty of paying people to engage in sex? Yeah, I think they might get him on a prostitution. Because prostitution is only legal in like one state in this country, but there's other states considering it. And let me tell you another reason why I think they had to bring Puffy down now. New York State is considering making prostitution legal.
No, they need to bring Puffy down now for the same reason they had to bring down Young Thug. Because they know that if they know they see the correlation between what these monsters are doing behind the scenes and how it's going to start spreading even worse than it is now. That's the problem.
Think about this. The one charge
Young Thug is really just a young Diddy. A young Puffy Combs. He really is. Young Thug, if they didn't check Young Thug, by the time he got Diddy's age, there would be another scandal like this with him.
I feel he may be guilty of, the state that's prosecuting him is considering now making prostitution legal. So they got
how he's just defending him. He is like windmilling for Diddy. The thing is, he saw what Diddy did to the woman. I don't care if she got money for it. He saw what she did. If there's anybody who has a moral compass that needs to be repaired, we're looking at him on the screen. He's got his mouth open.
got to convict Puffy now, right? Because what he's doing in a few months from now may not be a crime. It's like
he's got plenty of other, the guns with the serial number kind of rubbed off. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, he's a rich man. He can afford, as a rich man, he can afford fully legal guns of any kind, type and kind, right? But how do you end up with guns that don't have any serial number on it? No, he did some dirt. I mean, he's been doing some dirt. Now, here's the hypocrisy, folks. I promise you hypocrisy tonight. Here we go.
Black women never date a black man who feels inferior in the presence of another brother's self-confidence.
Can you believe it? Diddy is beating women up because he feels inferior. But he's okay with Diddy, though. You see the hypocrisy? You see the hypocrisy.
I'm talking to my black women right now. If you dating a man who shrinks in the presence of another man's self-esteem, don't you let that man impregnate you, black woman. Stop offering up your sacred wound to these Chinese imperialists. Don't you do that. You don't let no China man come to your country.
What the hell is he talking about now? Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing what's called a distraction. If there's any race of man that's just minding his own business, it's Chinese men. He makes an excuse out of everybody except for other black men. That is crazy to me. It's just crazy. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to move on to that because I'm going to use that for another live stream. Y'all heard what's going on with Megan. She admitted that she was, in an intimate relationship with what's his name? What's his name? Anyway, so what? They're trying to say, oh, yeah, he's going to get out. Oh, he's going to get out. Because she lied about being in a relationship with him. The problem is that what wasn't a lie, was the ballistics. the evidence, all that other stuff. Let me break it down like that. Here we go.
In a recent interview, DaBaby expressed interest in rekindling with Megan Thee Stallion.
The type shit me and Meg was making before. Yeah. Yeah. Come home, baby. You ain't gotta be making all that lame shit with none of these other niggas. We can come get it in. Or we cannot.
Y'all make beautiful music.
We make, I know how to talk that shit.
For lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Y'all like Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. I went
That's
too
not
far.
that's not a good example. Since Foxy Brown was 14 years old when she got with Jay-Z. That's not a good look, bro. But hey, it's the truth. So I'm just gonna let it ride. I'm just gonna let that ride. So not only are we out here defending, woman abusers, but basically statutory, ists.
Nah.
Sorry.
Nah,
that was accurate.
Do you?
Yeah, that was accurate.
Do you?
So I need to hear more Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. I need to hear more.
I'm open to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something that I know about Megan Thee Stallion right now. She's at a crossroads right now. She's going to have to choose between success and Blackistan. And I tell you why. I actually saw her doing I've seen her in at least 3 commercials. How many commercials has DaBaby done? Right. How many commercials has Young Thug done? Right. She's at a crossroads. She's at a situation where she knows these dudes are no good. She knows by now. She's almost 30? How old is Megan? She's like 32, 33. How old is, let me look that up. Hold on one second. How old is Stallion? She's still pretty young. She's only 29. But I'll tell you this, if she keeps hanging around these guys, she's going to age a lot faster. She's 29. Yeah, exactly. Why Seeker Knowledge says, DaBaby, get the heck out of here. He worked with Megan one time and dragged her bad. She never responded. Now he lost steam, exactly. Now he's clout chasing. But hey, why Seeker Knowledge? It really makes logical sense because basically he's just another example of how men of his mindset, which unfortunately is a lot of men, and community treat women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to Meg.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Megan Thee Stallion and DaBaby had a very public falling out in the midst of the Tory Lanez drama. The timeline of this drama is given by Capital.
Basically, what happened was this: DaBaby, who did a song with Megan Thee Stallion, right, dogged her out in favor of his boyfriend. Okay. That's what I'm calling it. Look, let me play that again.
In the midst of the Tory Lanez drama. The timeline of this drama is given by...
He chose Tory Lanez over a woman he was doing business and making money with. And now he wants... That's how barbaric these dudes are. I'm telling you.
Capital Extra. The drama began just days after DaBaby released Scat, his record with Tory Lanez, the man who at the time was accused of shooting Megan during a dispute. It's important to mention that Tory was found guilty of first-degree assault with a firearm, discharge of a firearm with gross negligence, and having a concealed firearm in a vehicle. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. At the time, the case was ongoing though, and Tory Lanez was taking weird jabs and leveraging misogynistic social media platforms against Megan. But DaBaby and Megan's friction officially began.
What that was the real Tory came out. He's a misogynist. That's just like DaBaby is. I mean, really, quite honestly, hip hop is a misogynist cornucopia. If there's a genre for misogyny, it's hip hop. And that's, I mean, from its birth. That's what it's about. Of course, we got a small sliver of non-misogyny, but it's very small. Looking at like 10% if we're lucky.
And once blogs caught wind of a tweet DaBaby retweeted, which made light of Tory Lanez shooting Megan. The tweet read, "I guess DaBaby and Tory Lanez cool now, because they both shot somebody and don't have to do no jail time." Which one is funny because he's in jail now, but at the same time it's odd and a weird thing to find appropriate to retweet about one of your friends.
That's right. It was DaBaby, the dude who got off a murder beef because of a technicality or something. There we go again.
It's one thing to do a record with someone.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just so used to criminality that now it doesn't even move the needle. So we just think these are normal dudes. I know it sounds horrible, but what are we going to do with that?
Your friend? Not that I agree with that morally, it even sounds crazy just saying it.
Yeah.
But it could be argued that business is business. It's another to actively poke fun at your friend in the midst of media drama and trauma. It just felt like senseless dogpiling on DaBaby's end. However, DaBaby later took to Twitter to deny that he retweeted the tweet and oddly blamed the Illuminati.
Oh my God. Which is Diddy, by the way. I don't know what the Illuminati really is, but the way they describe what the Illuminati is sounds a whole lot like a lot of these dudes in hip hop. Brina West breaks it down like this. Why seeking knowledge? I don't know. I just heard she lied about the case or the fight. She lied. She didn't lie about the case per se. She lied on some TV show and said that she wasn't intimate with where is he at? This. And I don't blame her. She really has no business being around there. She needs to get her mind out of Blackenstein. But that's up to her. That's the best advice I can give her. And so she lied about that. She didn't lie about like logistics of the case she didn't lie about logistics of the case that would prove the man innocent. None of that's going on. The logistics are still the same. Let me keep
tweeted the tweet and oddly blamed the Illuminati. DaBaby wrote, "I don't know what type of Illuminati stuff Twitter got going on. I ain't retweeting nothing, but ball if I want to promo. I ain't retweet that silly stuff." Then once people started tagging me and I saw it and tried to delete it and undo the retweet, Twitter didn't let me. Honestly, I find the probability of an accidental retweet to be very unlikely. You have to click several buttons to retweet something. It's not like a favorite or
he has that just shows that he has no backbone. But he didn't want to see dollars go out the door, so he lied. He lied him to himself.
Like, where it can be triggered by a tap. You basically have to go through a confirmation system to retweet something.
Yep.
But say he did actually accidentally retweet it. He could have left it at that. But I think his response following that really didn't reflect well and maybe gave the idea that he did harbor those feelings towards Megan. Baby got enough problems of his own, he said. I don't have no reason to inherit the next person's problems. Y'all chasing a story, y'all ain't gonna get it. I'm out people business while still successfully doing business. Megan Thee Stallion took to Twitter and wrote, "Support me in private and publicly do something different. These
Exactly, Rat Girl. He's a typical male. Yep. You nailed it.
industry men are very strange. This situation ain't no damn beef, and I really wish people would stop downplaying it like it's some internet shit for likes and retweets." The baby then responded, claiming that Megan had let folks get the best of her and told her to maintain her stance without feeling like he is against her.
Wait a minute.
Megan
The baby replies going, "You done let these folks get the best of you, young thug." What the heck? How are you going to call a young lady? See, these men, I'm telling you, you got to see in the next live stream, the down low live stream. Look, it's the down low lifestyle is running rampant in our culture.
Megan then clapped back at the baby by saying her stance hasn't changed by throwing his same argument back at him. She revealed that the baby said that he wouldn't promote his collaboration with Tory because it wasn't a good business move. Baby responded by saying, "You ain't tweeting nothing I ain't tell him already. I told him that. Whoever cleared it, so what? Still ain't enough of my business for people to be feeling some type of way about my pretty chocolate self getting into that." So the baby quite literally admitted that he wouldn't promote his track with Tory Lanez, but turned around and did it, and also did a video for it. While the baby's career was also taking a nosedive, he resorted to using Megan for PR, and randomly brought up in one of his songs.
So I mean, we could bring this into real life for a minute here. This is the real life portion, of this live stream. This is what men in our community do to women in our community. In addition to using women, this is how they act. I've seen it. As long as they're getting something from the woman, everything's going to be fine. Well, not really, but that's what they're thinking. That's what the men are thinking. And the women are hoping. But, you mess around. If a woman stands up to one of their boyfriends, if you stand up to one of the baby's boyfriends, you stand up to one of Diddy's boyfriends, you'd stand up to one of Chris Brown's boyfriends, there's a reason why they treat women so bad, because women are their second option. I'm not trying to name call here. It's just whatever it is. I'm not saying these guys are even physical with these men. So, well, we know Diddy is, but what I'm saying is that their emotional, their love and their tenderness and all that kind of shit that should be going to women is going to men. They're going to men. Now, they may not, do, but they're thinking in their mind. I mean, remember that song "Down for My," niggas? Remember that one? "Down for my." How many rappers have you heard saying they were down for the ladies? Just respectfully, not, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get me some tonight." Not that kind of topic, but just down for women. How lovely they. Maybe if you're lucky, a sliver of 2% or 3%. Maybe I would say up to 5% if you count the last 3 decades. Because it was loving women in rap back in the day. It used to be in the rap. LL Cool J came out with a couple tunes, sort of like that. Common did, but for the most part, it's the music's just about exploiting women. That's it.
How he allegedly had sex with her. "You play with me? That stuff was childish. The day before she say that Tory Lanez shot her, I was effing on Megan Thee Stallion, waited to say this stuff on my next album, hit it the day before too, but I kept it.
What's the point of dating men that are going to put your business out there? The point of being in a relationship is that it's private. That's one of the primary things most level-headed people want. Look at this craziness here. Why should she want to even deal with this dude anymore? Really?
Playa, I ain't say nothing about it, he rapped. Doesn't that last line literally defeat the entire purpose of saying this? It's just so corny, like what was the point? Even if it is true, why is it relevant? His tone in the song felt like he was trying to take this stance of like conquering Megan. But she is one of the most sexual female rappers. It should not be surprising that she has sex, even if it's with one of her peers. But anyways, DaBaby has his back in the corner.
No, they need to show the fact of talking private business out, real or not, out to the public is he gets to do two things at the same time. He gets to demean the woman and clout chase at the same time. That's crazy. The Rat Girl breaks it down perfectly. DJ Torch Live. Black men do not like themselves. That is definitely true. There's a very small sliver of us that do. That's it. So they hate the vessels through which they enter the world. Black women need to stop having children from these demonic entities. Bars. Of course, it's not all black men, but the problem is it's way too many. I mean, we're talking about, look, anybody who thinks in a hip hop culture-ish way, more than likely, they're into exploiting people. Both men and women, by the way, because they both probably like both. Here we go.
And I want a piece of people who are more relevant. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've always felt that DaBaby ruining his relationship with Megan Thee Stallion was stupid on all fronts. Him and Megan were a fan favorite item. They rose to prominence around the same time. They made multiple hits together and they had creative chemistry. And honestly, hip hop culture hadn't had a work husband and work wife relationship like that in a while. I could have definitely seen them becoming like the equivalent to hip hop's Ariana and Abel. They just fed off of each other pretty well. And they had their thing that fans really loved.
Don't worry, bro. Don't worry, bro. If she keeps working, she can find somebody better.
Threw that all away for Tory Lanez, who he did not have the same.
The men, at least in the hip hop culture ideology, which is a uncle to Red Pill, their priority is making men happy, making their friends happy. If you remember the live stream I did, which had the pop the balloon reaction in it, where the men literally were jerking off, disrespecting a gorgeous black woman that they all liked. But at the end of the day, they chose each other over a woman. And I will be doing a full-time live stream on that coming up soon.
Same musical relationship with. And for what? For a moment of controversy? Now he's in prison and DaBaby needs people in his corner. More than ever, he should try hitting Tory up for a feature. But even if Megan Thee Stallion and DaBaby miraculously made up and collaborated one day again.
Let me pause that. I think we've seen enough of that. So that's basically what's going on with that thing. Let's we got to dive into this. This is important. This is important. We are going to go into Ray J now. Here we go.
That was funny, fam. Now what? I don't use baby oil. Lube sometimes in sex makes it better. Should I come out with Ray Y Jelly and do some kind of like skit and say, KY just gave me a deal. Ray Y Jelly, I got 1,000 of them. Ha 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 ha. Ray Y.
I think Ray J's going by way of Yeezy, but without the talent. He's kind of getting weird himself.
So that's some of what Ray J had to say regarding the whole Diddy situation, and he wasn't making light of it, but sometimes it's hard to take Ray J seriously. I mean, did he have to bring up the baby oil and lube thing? I know people were laughing about it because the feds did confiscate like 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube from Diddy, which we ended up finding out that all of those products were laced with drugs. So these were the products that he was using on his victims like Cassie. So it's a very serious situation. It's not a funny matter, but I couldn't tell if he was being serious or if he was joking. But if he was joking, Diddy's sons didn't find it amusing at all because they confronted Ray J about it and they were about to get active. In fact, Hazel E actually recounted the incident and said that it could have escalated to something tragic because somebody might have had the strap on them. Who knows? But Chris Brown actually intervened and he broke up the fight. So he was the one who diffused the situation.
Ironic, Chris Brown breaking up a fight. You know,
which is good to know. It's good to hear Chris breaking up fights instead of being involved in them. But I do wonder, why are the Combs brothers so upset with Ray J? Are they really just upset at the fact that
shows you that Chris Brown is hanging out with the with the abuse brothers?
He made comments about their father on his show? Is that really the reason why they were upset and why they wanted to confront him? Or is there more to the story? Because this is not the first time that they actually had a confrontation with Ray J. They actually had 3 different confrontations. And I find that to be quite odd. Like, what is really going on? Like, why?
Look how he's moving. Look how feminine these guys are moving. I want you to keep, keep watching.
They keep bumping into Ray J. Why is Ray J bumping into them? What's going on there? I don't know, but I do know one thing. Diddy's sons need to be very, very, very careful because they are being watched by the feds. And any little mistake can get them hemmed up. So they need to be careful. I think it's wise for them to be out and about partying this time. Now, a random thing happened after this. Ray J got on Nicki Minaj's live because apparently he has been disturbing Nicki, trying to get in contact with her. And she was actually annoyed with him, but she allowed him to talk. And he did speak about the recent altercation he had with Diddy's sons.
Was you just fighting people in the club?
No, I was being the better person in the club, and I want to always be the better person. And I want to start practicing being an advocate for mentorship programs for entrepreneurs that's making money that's possibly might fall off the deep end, that if they were mentored correctly and if we can put some seminars together.
That's a great idea. I think we should have a horn for the sugar booty alert. I think you're right. I think I'm going to put that in the mix.
Jay, but I will completely not only click on you before you finish your sentence, but I will block you. Okay.
Okay. So what you want to know?
Question, it's to be answered. This is a court, sir.
You right.
Okay. You came in trying to do. You've been trying to get my attention. Now you got it. Okay.
You got it.
Were you just fighting in the club? Yes or no? I don't want.
No, we didn't have a fight. We had a big argument. All right, I was at the club.
And who started it?
This time, I think I got loud and got aggressive, but it was the 3rd time it's happened. And so I felt like I needed to stand up for myself, even though I was talking shit and we was having a lot of crazy words. I was walking that way to avoid the issue.
What were y'all arguing about yesterday?
That is so dumb. That was such a dumb, if it was true, that's such a dumb thing, because last thing I checked, bullets fly through the air really quick and across a room. Quite quickly.
That would tell me what I need to know.
What we was arguing about yesterday is that they tried to fight me before in a hotel. They said, Justin said, let's take a fade. I don't like what you're talking about with my pops.
So you saying someone approached you, and this is the third time y'all been having this argument. What was y'all arguing about?
Comments that I was making on my show, on my
Oh, you
news
got
show.
a show?
I mean, I'm on the news now. I'm a news anchor.
What?
I'm a news anchor. I'm the main voice of the community when it comes to politics and it comes to shit, man. I'm on the news.
What were Puppy's children saying to you?
They was just upset about everything, you know, and
I'm
it,
sure
like
they
they had
were.
every right to be. But
what?
I'm sure they were upset about everything. Things are not going good.
Upset about access being taken.
It's almost giving Orlando, sweetheart. And I don't know.
I promise you.
That's like if that's what you were trying to give.
I swear to God, it's not giving Orlando
Because
because
it's,
I just did it. I just did it.
I know you wouldn't get on here and disrespect
I
yourself.
promise you. I just did a one-on-one with
Even though
Orlando.
I love Orlando, but I'm just saying, like, I would hope you're not trying to act like him.
Orlando's on drugs.
Are you?
Oh, he's talking about Orlando. What's that guy's name? Orlando, the guy, that's the Moosh Goosh guy, right?
Absolutely not.
And the fact that you think all of this is funny when there is when there is an issue right now with down low men because they have wives and you know, innocent people who simply want to.
Let me break it down real quick for Phoenix. So basically Ray J got on this. They're talking about the fight that Ray J was getting, that almost fight, but you could call it probably a scuffle that him and the Combs boys was, you know, they were just having a lover spat basically. And so she's asked, Nicki is asking him about that, and he's trying to, you know, do the regular bandit shit where, you know, you gaslight and all that kind of stuff. And she's trying to get to the truth, and he's being all evasive and shit. And then he's on here. You'll see. Here we go.
I just know the truth.
Well, I said it. Access is being taken in ways that can't nobody explain. They being manipulated. Yeah. And right now they saying people in the church doing it. And like I said on the news, I can't even turn cheek to cheek because if somebody hit me, all I'm thinking about is butt cheeks. Asses are being manipulated.
Why did he bring up butt cheeks? I'm telling you, y'all.
Without their consent.
Look at Nicki's eyes. She's like, what the heck? She's like, what the heck is going on here?
How were you around for it?
Well,
present.
Of course, I wasn't there when it was actually.
That's the word, deflect. Phoenix, so thanks.
Oh, you was never there?
No, I wasn't. What I'm saying is I've never been in a room where an ass was being manipulated. But I know for a fact that these things are happening because of all the things that people are going through.
If you knew, you said you weren't there, but you knew, and then you kept being around?
No. What I was saying when I said that access is being taken had nothing to do with that. Access is being taken since the 90s.
Do you think that's funny?
That's what I asked them. I said, do y'all think this is funny?
Who did you ask that?
Middle Heart says, why did she ask him about homosexuality? I don't think she did. I think she brought it. I think he brought it up. He brought up the A cheeks. I don't know where it came from. It just hit me. I was like, what?
I said the world. I said, when I said, y'all think I'm going to come out with Ray White jelly? I said, y'all think this funny? I don't like baby oil. That's what I told him.
So and they tried to pour baby oil on you?
No, I said that people joking too much about this bad thing that's happening. And then I said, should I come out with Ray White jelly?
You're joking about it.
I'm promised. When there
are several people traumatized from what I can, you know, and I don't know anything to be proven true, but I'm just saying people
we're saying the same thing. Yes.
Now, this whole live was a bit bizarre. There were some funny moments, right? You know, Ray J can be very unserious, and Nicki has her unserious moments as well, but there was also an undertone of seriousness in this whole conversation. From what I got from it, it seems like Nicki doesn't trust Ray J, and I don't.
Nobody should trust Ray J. Ray J is basically Ray White jelly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Ray J, right? He was clout chasing. He found an opportunity and maybe get some more clicks, some more views, some more fans. For what? For what? Nobody knows, because it's not like he's making any really decent music, if he was it at all ever. I remember him back in the day, like what, 15, 20 years ago. You know, he made a couple tunes, I think, that hit, and that was it.
Don't necessarily blame her. Ray J does have a sketchy reputation. He does.
Yep.
He has been accused of being responsible for Wendy Williams and Whitney Houston's demise. He allegedly was supplying them, and he was called out by the reality star Stunner Girl and Whitney's sister-in-law Leola Brown.
Wow.
And
What they're saying is that he was basically giving them drugs, giving them D's. That's crazy. That's sketchy as hell.
A video on it. You could check it out if you want to. Also, Ray J has been a part of some odd pop culture moments. In fact, he helped popularize the Breakfast Club because he called up to the station and threatened the rapper Fabulous. He even threatened to send booty goons his way, which was really bizarre. Also, we can't forget he was infamous for that tape he did with Kim Kardashian, and that jump-started Kim's career. And in a way, it was kind of an advertisement too, because when you think about it and think about how people in Hollywood really get down, it really wouldn't surprise me if some people saw that tape and wanted to use Kim and Ray J for their own purposes, if you get what I mean. Ray J was never the same when that tape dropped. I'll just put it like that. He was never the same. Also, another odd thing about Ray J is he has a pattern of trying to reach out to people who want to expose things and tell their story. Like, for example, Raz B. When Raz B was making allegations about Chris Stokes and what happened to him as a child, Ray J called up his phone. Ray J was upset that Raz B name dropped him. And on the phone, Ray J said that he was getting calls from Jay-Z and Diddy about it. So he...
Let me pause it. Yeah, Tevin says this. Nicki don't need to be talking about anybody's husband while her whole ass, a whole predator. I guess he predo. I guess he's talking about her husband.
He called up Raz, and he also offered him a business opportunity.
So Ray, nigga, I got you. Whatever.
I need you to rephrase that shit, Raz. Like, you got niggas that hit me every day. Puffy, everybody, Jay-Z, everybody calling me.
Done. I got
And
you.
the thing is that it just seems weird that Ray J is in the same circle as all these men who either came out and said they were GAY or were in the mix with Diddy, which is actually basically saying the same thing.
Put you in this Chris Stokes shit, man.
I got you.
I need you to, like...
I got you, Ray, and I need you to have me too, because I think
Because it's like, damn, like, you didn't even really have to mention a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really
Basically, D9 says, what is Ray J really famous for besides being Brandy's brother? Yeah, I can't even remember the song. He had one hit, but it wasn't worth remembering. I know that.
have to mention a nigga. Yeah, but I'm with Universal now, and they're calling me like, yo, what's up with this shit, man? And I'm like, they called me yesterday like, yo, why the fuck are you speaking on Chris Stokes and Raz B? Them niggas asked me, why did Raz B say, ask Ray J? So what I'm supposed to say, no comment? I'm telling you what I can do for you, you know what I'm saying? ABC, my nigga, I got Sarah Palin, I got Dancing with the Stars, VH1, I got everybody in my corner, nigga. I can take your shit to the next level right now.
So what do you want to do? What kind of partnership you want to talk about?
I just gotta think about it. Now that we talking, I gotta think about how to structure it. I call it Gail and all.
What is there to think about? You know, at least what you're going to do, whether it's music or what. Ray J. That's why Ray J. will never come out with any more music, is because he's basically thinking of more. He just wanted the money. He just wanted the money that the music made. So when he found out that he couldn't make it, and then he comes out with some lousy heads, some lousy earbuds and whatever else, and that now he wants to try. What he's trying to do is sell something that goes viral. That's what he's trying to do.
So Ray J tried to offer Raz B an opportunity. I don't know what happened with that, but I think he did this as a way to keep Raz from speaking too much, at least about him in particular. Also, Ray J was trying to reach out to Jaguar Wright after she did that interview with Pierce Morgan and spoke about Diddy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Ray J was reaching out to Jaguar, and once again, he was trying to offer her an opportunity.
Hey, yo, Jaguar Wright, I told you I had an opportunity for you. I told you I had bags for you. I'm trying to hear what you got to say. But you want to keep taking these other niggas' money and not showing love to the community? That's weak as fuck. Hit me right now so I can make sure you get a bag and I can understand what the fuck you talking about so we'll know what's the truth and what's not. That's janky as fuck. You ain't hitting me back, but you hitting all these other motherfuckers back that's from all these other countries. Like you safe over there. You safe with me. Stop acting scary. Jaguar, hit me back right the fuck now whenever you can. With all due respect, and I love you, and I'm sorry for cursing. Help me be a better
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic?
person. Call me back.
Also, Ray J has been reaching out to Nicki Minaj. Nicki is a powerful voice in music,
He's clout chasing. He's literally doing what a lot of YouTubers do. You know, they clout chase. That's what he's doing. But I mean, lucky for him, he has a little bit better pool of people to clout chase with. Let's just put it that way. Not that they're better morally, but that, you know, they're very popular.
And we are back, and we are back, and we are back. Thank everybody for watching.
Here is one of Tory Lanez's fans. Listen to this.
Please go ahead and take a quick moment out of your day and hit the like button. You know you want to, and it helps us, and it also helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this wonderful content. Now, there are reports going on the internet, in particular on X, that Tory Lanez may be about to get out of prison because a court in California has found him innocent of the charge.
Let me pause it there because, and this person here, his name is Paralegal something, but he knows it's not true, especially if he has any legal background. He knows this isn't true. But he still does it. But I'm gonna just
charges with which he was charged, which landed him in the slammer. Y'all remember back several years ago, he was charged with pew-pewing somebody, Megan Thee Stallion, and he went to prison for that. Well, the reports say that he has been found innocent. I am bringing you a special report today. We are going to look into that, and we are going to bring you the truth. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and you know what? We're going back old school to the way we used to do it on this channel. Because I had somebody yesterday tell me, hey, you remember how y'all used to do it? I really like that. So we about to do it now how we used to do it. Again, like, comment, subscribe.
I don't know how he used to do it, but we'll find out, I guess. Here we go.
Into it.
Has a California court found Tory Lanez innocent of shooting Megan Thee Stallion? Some people have interpreted Tory Lanez's recent habeas corpus petition as a sign that the court has found him innocent. But this is not accurate.
So right there, he's not. You heard him at the beginning, right? You heard him say, oh yeah, he's innocent, he's innocent, he's innocent. And this is from a paralegal, I guess. And now they're saying, no, it's not true. No, it's not true. No, it's not true. I mean, if that isn't clickbait, I don't know what is.
A habeas corpus petition is not a declaration of innocence. Rather, it is a legal process through which Lanez's team is challenging the fairness of his trial and the legality of his detention. The purpose of habeas corpus is to examine whether there were procedural or constitutional errors significant enough to invalidate the conviction, not to make a direct judgment on guilt or innocence. In Lanez's case, the habeas corpus filing allows his attorneys to...
So that kind of, to me, if that's what they're trying to do, it shows you that they really accepted that he was guilty. The defense accepts he was guilty. Like, yeah, you picked up the gun, you shot her in the foot, but maybe we can get you out on a technicality.
To raise new claims, such as alleged trial misconduct, biased evidence, and unconsidered witness testimony in the hopes of overturning his 10-year sentence. If the court finds merit in his arguments, it could lead to a further investigation, retrial, or even potential release, but it does not automatically mean he is exonerated or proven innocent. Daystar Peterson, also known as Tory Lanez, was convicted in December 2022 for a 2020 shooting incident involving rapper Thee Stallion. The jury found Lanez guilty of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying
I don't know why they have her blurred out. She's got a dress on, right? Poor young lady. She had to walk with a hole in her foot. You can see the blood when she's walking backwards right there.
Loaded an unregistered firearm in a vehicle and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. The incident, which occurred in the Hollywood Hills.
A lot of people don't know, but he's had a problem with some guns before. So this is actually the reason why they don't like, he probably wasn't even supposed to have a gun anymore. So if you had a gun when you're not supposed to have a gun anymore, you're going to jail, period. Anyway.
Involved Lanez allegedly firing at Megan's feet after a dispute. Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison in August 2023. His conviction and subsequent sentencing sparked public debates on issues such as violence against women and the influence of fame on legal proceedings. Following his conviction, Lanez initiated an appeals process, arguing that his trial was tainted by erroneous admission of evidence and prosecutorial misconduct. His legal team raised issues with certain evidence presented by the prosecution, including photos of his chest tattoo, an AK-47, and references to his lyrics and social media activity.
Oh, well, you live it, you die it.
These elements, his lawyers argue, portrayed him as a violent individual, unfairly influencing the jury's perception of him. Lanez's team cited California law AB 2799, which restricts the use of creative expression, like lyrics or tattoos, as evidence to prevent racial or cultural bias.
Which is, I mean, the problem is that if what they're saying is true, is good luck. I mean, what they said is true in the lyrics, that's what they said is true in the lyrics. Some people, that's one of the core values that people see in hip hop is that they keep it real, right? That's what they said, right? They keep it real. So if this is when keeping it real goes wrong.
Claiming that this law should have protected him from such portrayals in court. In addition to objecting
I don't think it would have mattered. I think they had the the round angles. What I mean is that the ballistics probably did all the work. I think the science probably did all the work. Maybe this helped, his portrayal helped like 15, 20%, but this is the reason why Black men, we have to improve our reputation and our image. Don't think you can put, an AK on your chest and tat yourself up and then expect to get like top quality, respect from the rest of society. It just doesn't work that way. You have to, if you really want to be respected, you have to be respectable. It's that simple. You can't be running amok and then all of a sudden when something happens and your reputation is at, at risk, you definitely have to act, you just have to act better. And so that's why it's funny to me when everybody, they want, you saw the clip, I was playing of Umar. It's almost like you're asking for credit you don't have. You're supposed to be respected. You don't act respectable ever in your life. And then you finally do try to, when you're in court. What's up with that? What is up with that? I mean, the best way to attain respect or to get respect is to be respectable. It really is. At least to the right people. If you're trying to get respect from Blackistanians, then that probably won't work. But if you're trying to get respect from the quality people in our community and from other cultures, the best thing to do is just be respectable. But the problem is that these men, even with money, cannot even do that. Here we go.
Years earlier when she was just 15.
Okay.
Then as her first
Let me rewind this a little bit. This is about Jay-Z. I'm going to skip a little bit to here.
If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it become a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is...
Let me go back here.
But there were some who felt that this made Jay-Z and Beyonce look way more guilty than they would otherwise, and maybe the damage had been done. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It's too late to edit it out. The internet lives forever. And I mean, they're right. Once you put something onto social media, it takes on a new life of its own. And these days, there's a lot of people who are wondering now if Jay-Z and Beyonce weren't just in cahoots with Puff, but were just as bad as the diddler himself. Because even after the threats of legal action from Jay and Bey's legal team, Jaguar continued to argue that if Diddy was brought to justice, they would be too.
That's always been my focus. They're one and the same. Tell me something. When you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, if it's just peanut butter, it's just peanut butter. If it's just jelly, it's jelly. When you put it together, it become a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the taste is undeniable.
You saying Diddy and Jay-Z is peanut butter jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly. Let's deal with the sandwich.
As opposed to jumping on the bandwagon.
Jaguar Wright has been making this, I would call him, you can call it a claim or a testimony or whatever you want to call it, but she's saying that Jay-Z is as bad or worse than Diddy, but he's just smarter at hiding it. So, yeah. Shout out to Donnell. Donnell says, settling our differences. Yeah, definitely settling our differences. Let me keep this going. Here we go.
It should be noted that this is definitely the first time that she leveled these claims at Hove and Co. Instead, Jaguar, who sang backing vocals on Jay-Z's Unplugged album, has been claiming that Hove abused her and others for years.
She's so removed from actually making music, at least that I know of, that she seems like she's always been a podcaster, but she actually did sing.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler, and I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. Want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit. That Cassie shit, that's nothing.
Are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me, and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. It's gonna be the women that get him in the end.
Of course, there are some people who would discredit Jaguar Wright. Throughout the years, she has shown signs of instability, such as throwing her son's ashes.
I mean, she could show signs of instability because that's basically the whole hip-hop genre. So what's next?
At people during an argument before smearing them on her own skin.
On my dear son. On my son. Oh, my son. They're all dead.
No,
they're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead. They're all dead.
Phoenix Soul says, I keep saying I'm so surprised she's still breathing. You know something? She did a very good job on connecting with the media in a way that everybody is going to look at those men that you would think would, send her to the upper room first. I mean, there would be, she's not completely, protected, but at least they know they will have a tough road to defend themselves if they go to court, because Jaguar made it clear they did something to her. And if they do something else to her, she might pass away, but they know that they're gonna have to take one for the team and do some time in some orange uniform.
But as hard as that is to accept, she has been proven right in other ways. From Diddy's secret freak-offs, right down to the ingredients of the cocktail that Diddy used to sedate the participants in these events.
It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer. Now, gay men have been using this for years. If you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you will always find on hand. Viagra, Special K, and cocaine.
But as headline-grabbing as what she has to say is, Wright is ultimately only one voice in the crowd of people who have suggested that there's something seriously warped going on behind the scenes in Hove's life. Right down to fellow 90s hip-hop artists like Lord Jamar. According to him, Hov's indiscretions were a lot better disguised than Diddy's. But the fact that he started dating Beyonce after meeting her when she was just 17 years old, as well as rumors that he got with Foxy Brown when the rapper was 15 and he was 27.
It's not even rumors. They did the math. She was 17 when the album that they both recorded came out. Okay, but when they started, she was 15. It took 2 years to make the album, and it came out. And you have to look at it different back then. Back then, music technology was not as efficient. These days, you can pop out music with a laptop. Back then, they were, in the 90s, you still had a lot of what people would call archaic, but actually it's beautiful equipment being used, that it took longer to get things done, whether it was the making of the music or the recording of the music, that kind of stuff, production of the music.
Should have rang alarm bells.
I will say that Jay-Z, if he was doing ill shit like that, he was more quiet about it. You know what I mean? But then, if we be real with ourselves, it was kind of abnormal when he got with Beyonce. Like, she was pretty young when he got with her. There's rumors that he was messing with Foxy Brown when she was pretty.
So remember how Kevin Samuels would say that a woman who was 30 and over was leftovers? This is where they got it from. Like I said before, hip hop is the older cousin to Red Pill. Hip hop in many ways was designed to control women for men. It was also designed to control men for men. But the one thing that they have in common is basically controlling and getting something they want. So it makes perfect sense.
Young, so there's a lot of those rumors around.
But if you ask Jamar,
and the one thing they want are kids. Not to have them, but to be with them. Foxy Brown was 14, 15 maybe. Beyonce was maybe, I don't know, probably rolling around 17, 18. These are grown men, so they should have been minding their business and women in the 20s. But the reason why this didn't work out that way is this is working out this way is this. Men don't see a 21-year-old woman as coming into her own then, because they don't care about having a relationship with a woman anyway. They are looking for toys. And as long as the toy is legal, that's what they want. But some men, they feel they don't have to wait for them to be toys. Beyonce was, Phoenix Soul says Beyonce was 16. See? Because think about it. If a woman is 21, how is hitting the wall 29? That's only 8 years. But if you talk about 15 or 16, now it starts to make sense. You see where I'm going with this? We will be going over that one of the disappointments in that men are having these days is it's easier to be detected dating children. And they're also, believe it or not, black women, you're not the only thing they're disgruntled at. They're disgruntled at laws that don't allow them to date children. Before, they could get away with it because surveillance and iPhones and Android phones and Ring cameras weren't around. Now with all that, they're getting more mad at women because they're being scrutinized more for doing things they shouldn't be doing. And we know what those things are.
This situation is scarily common when it comes to these high-powered celebrities, and Jay is just one of many people that he had heard some dark things about.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. When certain people get to a certain level of fame, I don't know why, but you start to hear little about.
You don't even have to be famous. If really, quite honestly, let's face it, we've all seen people in the streets talking about rumors that weren't rumors, but actual truths. You know, a good example is T.O. His mom was 14. She had him at 14. From a guy who was 32. Married. Living across the street. Unfortunately, that type of behavior is a part of our culture. A dirty part at that.
Certain people sometimes. If you really think about most of your top celebrities, black celebrities, rappers, I feel like I've heard a rumor damn near about all of them. It could be.
Bars. He nailed it.
Or it could be that motherfuckers got to join a club in order to get to a certain level. Everybody that goes past a certain point, you'll hear a little, have I heard little shit about Jay-Z? Yup.
The whole Foxy Brown situation is one that's had people concerned for a long time. Even when she appeared on his debut album in 1996, the track was recorded 2 years earlier when she was just 15. Then, as her first album emerged when she was 17, it was full of sexually explicit lyrics and had 5 co-writing credits for, you guessed it, Sean Carter. So at this point, Hov and Foxy's relationship seems to be an open secret. Even Jason Lee hinted towards it on a recent IG Live after.
Yeah, I mean, it's just simple math. The thing is this is why don't people just believe the simple math? Look at the legal math, the simple math. She's this old. She's 17 when the record was released. Well, I mean, she didn't make the damn thing. They didn't make the album one day. Even at 17, that's still under the limit. Well, in most places, who knows these days? Indiana Mom says, DJ Torch and Friends. Also because black girls were easy prey. Yep. No one cared about what happened to them back in the day. They don't care now, but I see what you mean. And if they told, no one would believe them. Yep. They would say, oh, she's fast. That's what they would say. Even though the guy is 30 or 35, oh, she's fast. Oh, y'all, I got one heck of a show tomorrow. I'm telling you, you got to check it out tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's Monday. Yeah. But it's going to mix in with this one, this live stream perfectly. I'm telling you. Here we go.
Puffy's arrest.
And then Diddy, that whole empire crumbling got a lot of y'all scared because your favorite rapper was sleeping with a 15-year-old. But listen, here's the deal.
But when it comes to Jay's questionable behavior around young women, it doesn't end with those he tries to court. Sometimes, he's threatening teenagers just to get their signature on a contract. During an appearance on Tyra Banks' show way back in the day, a 17-year-old Rihanna let it slip that Jay had been a little forceful in convincing her to sign to Def Jam back when he was still at the helm of the label.
Place that there are 2 ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor. So you was like, where's the pen?
Wow. I bet he meant it too. She's probably looking light at it back then, but he doesn't seem like the comedian to me. He doesn't seem like that at all. We're going to finish it off with this.
Kwame Wilson, better known to his fans as Young QC, was an aspiring Chicago rapper before his life spiraled out of control. However, nobody should feel bad for the dreamer, as he did the unthinkable to make some fast cash. While some aspiring rappers have found themselves in prison, QC is the only one who hired a hitman to go after their own mom.
How did the desire for money and fame lead this aspiring rapper to such an evil place? Young Q.
It's called, that's the disconnection that a lot of men are having in our community with even those who bring them into the world. Don't get me wrong, there's other cultures who have done something like this. But it's not a cool thing. It's not cool at all.
It quickly turns into her being the provider. And so the reality is,
And let me pause it right there. This is going to be used in our next show as well. Basically, I believe why men want to go 50-50 or 50-50 and put that in asterisks, because basically, if a man has to go 50-50 with you, more than likely, you're going to end up paying everything. That's basically what Cynthia G was going to say in this clip, but I'm going to play this on an actually tomorrow, actually on the next live. I think we are done for today, and I'm going to hit the beat. I thank everybody for coming in and spending a little time with me and the crew, because my crew's listening. They listening. They're out there. Later on, I think tomorrow's live, I might start popping out the link and have people come up and talk a little bit more. Tomorrow is going to be quite the show. You're gonna have to check my community page to see what it is, but you will see it. Everybody, I think it's time for me to hit the beat. Here we go. Time for those shout outs. All right, shout out. Phoenix Soul, Indiana Mom, Thee Stallion, Donnell, artist Nicki Knowledge, the rap girl, Kevin the lifestyle guy, break it down now. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible. Shout out to Metal Heart.